Hey, what's up everyone? This is Nick, and today we're doing another action figure review. This is the Neca Toys Alien Resurrection Alien Warrior. So this is actually one of my favorite alien designs. In fact, I think my favorite alien, my favorite standard alien, so excluding things like the Queen, the Newborn, the Pred Alien, just like your standard warrior or alien type creature, I would say would either be the Dog Alien or the Resurrection Warrior. I just really love the sleek design, the streamlined design that ADI went with in both of those movies. And I like the digigrade legs. I like the browner color scheme. I don't know, it just really appeals to me. Obviously, objectively speaking, H.R. Giger's work on the original and then the slight tweaks that Stan Winston did is really just revolutionary, very unique, and objectively the best. But just my personal taste, I really personally like these designs, the ADI designs from the 90s. They're just a lot of fun to me, very nostalgic. So this is the Resurrection version. So this is the first time we've gotten this from NECA, but this particular creature has been tackled by previous toy companies. So we're going to do a comparison here in a minute with the McFarlane version and the original Hasbro version from back when the film came out. But first, real quick, I want to go over the packaging. It is just like the rest of the line. We have some nice movie poster artwork here, and we have some nice gallery images of the warrior alien on the back and on the sides. I really like this one on the side here. So really cool. I love the architecture of the Ariga incorporated into the packaging here. On the back here, you see we got the Newborn, Ripley 8, and the Warrior, all of which I have reviewed now at this point, and I do have the Alien Queen on its way, so I will be doing a review. It will be a brief review because it's obviously going to be the same figure, just repainted as the Aliens one, but we'll do a comparison to see just how the coloring is different on them. And then, you know, we always have the credits at the bottom of the packaging. So, really cool. If you watch this channel, you know I am a fan of all of the original Alien films from the quadrilogy. Pretty much if it has Sigourney Weaver in it, it's an Alien movie that I love. The first, second, third, and fourth, I really like Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. I think they're very underrated films. Now, the prequels I'm not too big on, but, you know, I can find some enjoyment in any Alien film. So, like I said, I love the Resurrection design. I love that NECA Toys has finally given us a version. We came pretty close when they gave us the AVP aliens back in 2016, very early 2016. So it's been like 3+ years, really, almost 4 years, really, now at this point, since we've seen a lot of these pieces used. So the head of the xenomorph here is reused from the AVP alien. The chest, where the upper torso is, the abdominal area, the tubes back here, the upper arms, the upper legs, and the tail, and the feet are all reused. Now the forearm, the hands, the lower legs, so like below the knee, with the exclusion of the feet, are all brand new, as well as a brand new paint job. And that's one thing I want to say about this Resurrection alien. I really like it design-wise better than the AVP one, because I think the AVP one is a little too simplified compared to this one. It's all black. It just has like your standard humanoid legs. It doesn't have the digigrade legs. And I think that this browner coloring brings out the details better. NECA did a fantastic job with both. They're both very accurate. I'm just saying, design-wise, I prefer the Resurrection version. Now, coloring-wise, I think they finally got this spot on. I think it's just the right brownish coloring. It's really more of like an all-black figure that has a very heavy brown wash. applied to it, but applied to it very methodically. It's not like messy or sloppy or anything like that. In fact, the paint is really clean. They did a really nice clean paint job on the teeth and on the inner mouth as well, which is really far back there. I can't get it out, but you know, it slides out just like all the NECA alien figures. Really nice clean paint, black paint on the toenails and the fingernails, which they didn't have to do, but it's very, very nicely done. So really nice washes. But I like how it has a very wet, shiny look to it. As you can see, the way the light is reflecting off of it, it looks wet and slimy. The resurrection aliens especially were very, very wet, just dripping with ooze. All the aliens do it, but especially the resurrection ones for whatever reason. Maybe it's a result of the cloning. So as I was saying, I really like the coloring here because it's brownish, it brings out the details and all that, but it's very dark still. In the movie, they look very dark. In the scene when they're in the containment area and they're getting hit with the nitrogen gas or whatever it was, the cold stuff, as punishment, they looked very, very black. And a lot of that is just the very dark, dim lighting that they're in, because there are brightly lit scenes like the underwater sequence and whatnot, where you can see that they are definitely brownish. But here, I think they finally got just the right shade or hue. It's, you know, just light enough you can tell that it is browner and it's bringing out the details, but it's still dark enough that it looks very movie accurate and just seems to be very representative of that atmospheric lighting that we have in the film. I really love the translucent dome here. I love how it's very foggy up here and foggy back there, and it kind of fades into like a lighter, more translucent coloring here. Really incredible. And the spikes are like a really soft rubber. I just realized that, or soft plastic. So as far as articulation goes, we do have the hinge at the jaw. The inner jaw does come out, but I don't have anything to pull that out with. We do have this hinge that allows the head to look down and really far back. This is the only hinge that seems stiff on mine, so I can't have his head tilt the whole way back. But I do know from experience with the AVP ones, it is kind of like the dog alien where you can pivot its head back, but it does it a lot easier than the dog alien. The dog alien, you have to like shift its head weird, but this particular style, it's just as simple as that hinge. You tilt it back. In fact, when I think NECA first revealed this figure, they showed it in kind of a swimming pose, and I do wish that they had included a little stand, just a little one, just to help prop him up in that swimming pose. In fact, I will probably get a stand somewhere, or see if I can dig one out from somewhere, like a miscellaneous bin somewhere, and see if I can pose him in that swimming pose, because that is a very, very cool scene, one of the best scenes with them in the film. So you can still turn the head side to side, the shoulders forward and back, pivot in and out. You do have a double joint at the elbow, so you can get more than a full 90 if you need to. Look at that. Or you can fully extend. You can just do a 90. And then the wrists, you do have a swivel in the wrists, and you do have a hinge so they can pivot in and out. You have another hinge at the knuckle, so you can bend. It's very small, thin hands there. Really creepy looking hands. And that's the thing, they didn't have to redo the hands. They could have just used the hands from the AVP one, because they're close enough, but I like that they redid the hands here. They're very memorable. I remember, I can just picture them touching down on the grating when they're moving to attack the guy in the wheelchair. So we do have a rocker at the torso. We do have hinges in the legs so they can pivot in and out very far. They can move forward and back. We do have double knee joints here at the actual knee, and then we do have another single joint at sort of like a secondary knee. The double knee joints do allow for some really good crouching poses, so you can get more than a full 90 there. just like with the elbow. And then you have a really nice, really useful rocker at the ankle that pivots in and out, side to side. Really good range of movement, more so than most NECA figures. And that's helpful because with these digigrade legs, you're going to be able to get him in a very dynamic pose, and that's going to help keep the feet very flat. You do have a nice hinge at the toes as well, just the middle pair of toes. It's a very small joint. I'm not going to force that one. And then, of course, you have the bendy wire running through most of the tail. And I love that paddle-like design at the end of it. Very, very cool. Really beautiful design and a fantastic representation of it in figure form. So now we're going to do a comparison with its original incarnations, and all these figures I absolutely love, so I really don't see any of them as better than the others. So here we have the Hasbro version of the Alien Warrior from Resurrection. This came out in 1997 alongside the film as part of a collector series. Really nothing else out there with this level of detail and accuracy at the time. Incredible figure, still probably one of my top 10 Alien figures. And same thing with this one as well. This is the McFarlane version of it. It's definitely a stylized figure. The proportions are definitely off, but the detail and the liberties taken with it are really just stunning. And then now we have definitely the most accurate version, and what's probably overall the best figure. It just sort of checks all the boxes: articulation, accuracy, fun factor, value, etc. So this is the NECA version now. So here we have the evolution of these figures. Really cool. I'm keeping all three on the shelf because, like I said, I love this design, and I think all three of these are fantastic figures. These two aliens are still in my top 10 alien figures of all time, and this is definitely working its way up there. I'm liking it more the more I play around with it, because I think I would go so far as to say this is my favorite alien figure that NECA has done that is based on one of the films. It's just your standard Xeno. Again, not a hybrid, not a queen or anything like that. As far as just your standard warriors go that are based on the films, I would say I like this better. I like it better than the Covenant one, the Aliens one, the Alien 3 one, the Big Chap, etc. So I like this one better. I still think some of the Kenner alien figures, and well, the Kenner inspired ones, and like the Queen would probably be my top picks for NECA alien figures. But if we're just limiting the list to your standard xenomorph that has appeared on film, I would probably put this as number one. So if you haven't already, guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you around. Bye.